So basically, like that's the first question, or whatever. But apparently, Jasmine don't want to answer no other questions.
I know I
So I
don't mind.
wonder.
I just
I
think
wonder.
it's
Hold on, Jasmine. Hold on
it's
for a
not
second, because
heavy.
you insulted my other questions.
No, I did not.
Hold on. All right. Nah, but so I got two other questions, three other questions. I'm sorry. Define toxic masculinity. Define divine feminine. And is it okay to beat kids? Eric, since you got to leave.
Yeah, I gotta get off, man. But I might join while I'm in the car. I'll let y'all.
Okay.
All right, man.
See y'all, man.
All right, man. So which one do y'all want to talk about now? If that's the case.
We could talk about the kids since
Beat kids.
that was a subject that just come up.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Beating kids. Okay. So how do y'all feel about beating kids?
Jasmine.
It's a tricky place for me. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like I personally feel like I had a lot of unwarranted or excessive physical interaction when it came to my mom when I was younger. So it's tricky because it definitely skewed how I viewed her as I got older. You know what I mean? It definitely had an effect on my level of respect for her as I grew up, because I think in our generation, it was about fear. It wasn't about respect. And our parents didn't know the difference. Like, they thought if we followed directions, it's because we loved them. No, we followed them because we were scared as hell of you. So, like, it's a lot of things that we didn't follow that they taught us. Then they're confused, like, why doesn't she follow me anymore? And it's like, because that whole time I was just doing what I was supposed to do, but I didn't like anything about you, what you said to me or what you did to me. So I'm in a tricky place, because I think it's hard to break a cycle, because it's like, if you want your kids to have better than you, right? So it's like, okay, how do I discipline them now when only form of discipline I know is a belt? That's all I know. So now I have to get beyond myself to figure out, well, what other ways is there to do this? You know what I mean? Like, how do we approach the other ways to do it if we've never seen it or been around it? Because in my life, everybody was getting beatings. I don't know no kids that didn't get beatings, I guess, besides like white kids. You know what I mean? Like, all the black kids I know got beatings, got pops, switches, extension cords. I mean, backhands, you name it. You know what I mean? That was the thing. Like, you couldn't even call nobody and be like, oh my God, my mother beat me. They'd be like, what you did? You know what I mean? Nobody cared about beating when I was growing up. That was normal. I don't know, but I also feel like it's scary outside for kids these days. We live in a different time, and I don't know how you in a way, these kids need fear. I think the problem with a lot of kids in the generation that we're in now, they don't fear. That's why they're so comfortable doing the types of crimes they're doing at these young ages. They don't fear anything. So it's a tricky place to find a healthy balance between discipline and fear and respect. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. My daughter's 5 and I'm still trying to figure it out. I've popped her and I've beat her. It didn't feel good, you know what I mean, at all. But it was like, kind of like, I kept telling her, stop doing something. I kept asking her not to do something. I kept repeating myself. And then after a while, you're just like, listen, pop upside the head. Like, what? Okay, man, what are we doing? Hold up. It's like, I'm trying to be nice. Kids don't care about nice sometimes. When they have their mindset, they don't have impulse control. So when their mindset is set at something, that's what they're going to do. You know what I mean? And it puts you in a tight spot, because it's like, now how do we get over that hump? Because I've said it 100 times. You've looked me dead in my face and said, I understand. And you're still doing it. Right? So now it's like, I got to figure out how we get respect on here, because that's disrespectful. If you knowingly did something I asked you not to do, you know it was wrong to do. This is borderline now. This is a disrespectful thing. So how do we balance? How do we figure out how to get back to respect? So I don't know. I don't know the answers. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. I've heard from different people, different responses, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know my opinion on it is I think some kids need it. You know, they need to get a beating. And I think not so much the case for others. And I give you an example. Like so my oldest daughter's 17. And then I got another daughter that's right behind us, about to turn 16. Now, when they were younger, you know what I mean? I beat them. Not often, but if when occasions call for it, like if I told them to do something, they didn't do it or whatever. And then it got to a point to where I stopped because I'm like, man, this is starting to hurt me spiritually. You know what I mean? I don't think I should be doing this. So I stopped it. This was more so when they were like young. When they got like a little older, who I was, I already established myself as in when daddy says something, this is what we do. You know what I mean? So at that point, I kind of, it was like in the beginning, but then it stopped. So then now I got a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old. And my 9-year-old is my baby girl. She's the youngest. I've never put my hands on her. You know what I mean? I can't do it. You know what I mean? And she probably needs it more than anybody, but I cannot do it. And my 10-year-old is my son. He's my only boy. And you know, early on, same thing with him. Early on, you know, I gave him a beating. At this point now, I want him to understand, like I want him to feel like a man. I don't want to do anything to make him feel like he may be emasculated or anything of that nature. But we already have that sense of understanding that I'm daddy. When daddy says something, this is what it is. When I say to do it, do what I say to do and do it when I say to do it. You know, recent, like the last beating I gave him was for something that I personally don't go for. And what that was he let somebody put their hands on him and he didn't defend himself because he was afraid of getting in trouble at school. I don't play that, defend yourself at all costs. So when he came home and first he didn't want to tell me about it. My daughter told me about it. And when I found out about it, we went upstairs and, you know, I put the belt to him. And I'll do that again 100 times over because you need to know that you don't ever let nobody put their hands on you or disrespect you when you don't, you know, stand up for yourself. But other than that, man, I think we could talk about anything. I don't think anything else really has to come to a beating. But I think that's more so because of the relationship I have with my kids more than anything.
Okay. Well, I would say the only reason why the child should get beat is if they setting something on fire or if they want to fight you. If they really want to fight you. Those are the only two reasons. Because like, okay, what y'all said, like y'all said the beatings hurt you guys more than it hurt the kids, I guess. Yeah. Well, mentally and all that.
Yeah.
But what did it benefit with the kids learning something when it comes to like getting beat?
Well, it's kind of like fire.
Anything new?
Yeah, I think it kind of let them know that there's an immediate reaction. You know what I mean, to doing what they're not supposed to be doing. You know, just like fire. You know what I mean? You put your hand on fire, you get an immediate reaction that it burns. And I'm not saying that, you know, beating should always be the answer, but that was just more so to answer the question of what they might have learned. You know what I mean? In that moment. You know, I don't think it should be the go-to at all times, but I do understand it in certain cases because kids do need to understand that things are going to happen right then and there. And you rather do it now with them than life give them a beating later on.
But I'll tell you this, I know like a lot of people in jail right now, most of them got their ass whooped in jail. I mean, before they went to jail basically. So either way you put it, they're going to get their ass whooped at home and in the street basically. So that's what I was saying, like, so that's what I'm saying, like, what was the main benefits? Because I know my father never put his hands on me. Oh, well, mind you, he clotheslined me one time, but I deserve it. But I remember my mom used to beat me all the time. My mom used to beat me, you know. Mm-hmm. But the moment my father was disappointed in what I did, I felt terrible.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I believe like shame itself would be more punishment than a beating itself or whatever. Because if you can get away with certain stuff or whatever, you can actually hide from this beating, but you can't hide from disappointing your parents. So would you say that disappointment would be more of a punishment for that child than a beating?
Depending on the relationship, if the relationship is there and the respect level is there, I would say yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. What's up, Don? I can't hear you.
What up, though?
What's up, Donnie? How you
You
feeling?
hear me? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm chilling. So we talking about beating kids, right? You have any kids?
Yep, 2. At least that's what Maury told me. So that's what I'm claiming.
Okay, so you went to Maury show and you got it in. Like, you took care of business. You had to make sure the kids was yours. I rock with it. But yeah, so like basically like we're having the discussion. I don't know if you've been watching, but we've been having the discussion on whether like it's good to beat kids compared to like different type of punishments, basically.
Hello? You cut out. You heard a discussion and you cut out.
Oh yeah, well yeah, basically like we was having a discussion about
Hold on, call coming.
is that yeah, like we're having a discussion about how like is it okay to beat kids today? Or is it a benefit to beat kids at this moment?
Same benefit it was last time or any other time.
So you agree with it. So why do you agree with it? Why do you agree with it?
Because I mean, because some things you just gotta get taught the hard way. I mean,
How you doing?
it ain't about just kids. Like this is for grown people too. You gotta learn the hard way. Just simple as that. It does work no matter what. No matter what people say about it, it does work.
Said it does work.
That's true.
Work.
It works for who? The parent or the kid?
For the kid. What do you mean for the? Why does it have to work for the parent?
Because the parent usually that's the only option that they usually have sometimes. They can't handle them. They can't handle them mentally, so they got to beat them physically. That's what most of the times when you do beat a child. I have a question. I don't mean to get like personal with this, but what's one reason you beat your child?
Because it's been said about the 11th time now. I mean, you just go around just beating kids. I mean, no to that. But if you gotta say it at least 3 more times, then that's 3 more times it should have had to been said.
I know y'all don't care about this. The studies show that you have to tell somebody 7 times for it to get installed in their brain or whatever. But yes, that's an actual fact. That's an actual fact. It takes somebody 7 times or whatever to actually get that routine going. So you're saying
okay, but it don't necessarily have to be a routine. I told you now. As of right now, don't do that.
All right, so boom. I don't want to get too personal, right? But I used to pee in the bed. You know what I mean? I got my ass for peeing in the bed. My mother told me don't pee in the bed no more. She told me like about 4 or 5 times. You know what happened? I peed in the bed again. I got my ass for. Is that an instinctive thing, or is it just?
I mean, that's
Straight up abuse.
Yeah, that's different though. It's not like you gotta just get in the bed.
Right, but what I'm saying is sometimes like it's just instinctive or whatever. When the kid want to run out and play or whatever, that's instinctive for their body to run out and play. Sometimes when you sit down, it's like their body won't allow it to sit down or whatever because they gotta explore a little bit. That's how their brain works.
But again, I mean, I think we're trying to figure out what's the difference between abuse and not abuse, because we all beat our kids. Even if you call it, some people call it a tap, some people call it a little smack on the forehead or whatever, a little thump on the hand or whatever it is. That still count as a beating. Anywhere you put your hands on your kid to get them to do something. So I think we're trying to figure out, is it abuse or not? And peeing in the bed and getting beat for it is abuse to me. A kid having an impulse to run around and play, that's just a kid. And depending on the environment or the situation, the circumstances, even so, then you can't run around and play around here as of right now. So if I got to keep telling you that here as in right now, then maybe you need a little incentive.
So what's the difference between, like, okay, so when it comes to beating and abuse, like what's the line that's going to be crossed when it comes to going from being beat to being abused?
First of all, you bruising them. That's the question. You know when you cross that line. You know when you cross that line. And I believe that yes, whipping is needed sometimes. I don't believe that you need to beat their ass every damn time they do something wrong. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 teenage boys, and a lot of times I have to tell them, like, yo, you get outside this wall, these doors, the world ain't give a damn about you. So you gotta prepare them a little bit mentally. But at the same time, I don't think that you crossing that line when you know that they are hurt for real. You know you're hurt. You know when you're hurting a child. You know when you fighting a child as if they're another grown ass man. You know you across that line.
I'll tell you this. One hit from a switch hurts me, so I think my mom should have stopped right there. I think one hit would have improved that point if that's the case. So like,
my grandma was practicing swings one day before she whooped my ass.
That's abuse, so isn't that abuse if that's the case? If they're gonna practice,
hell yeah, I knew that was abuse. I mean, she was practicing one day just so she heard those roots. So I understand that. I understand abuse, but I know how. But when it comes to my kids, when it comes to my son, like Daddy said, at a certain amount of time, telling the person, no, don't do it. Stop. Let's talk about it, and it don't work. Okay, look, now I gotta get you something to make sure that you're steady now. I'm popular a little bit. Maybe you understand now. This means business. Stop. You know what I'm saying?
So
you don't want to.
See, I think for me, I think it's what is your goal when you're beating, right? I think that's the thing for everybody. Like, what your goal is. So to me, if I'm beating my child, here's my goals. My goal number 1 is for her to understand whatever I say is not an option. It's what I say. That's the first goal. So understanding that I control this setting, right? That's step 1. Goal 2 is to make sure she knows that they're gonna like to give her the security and strength to know that just because I don't want to do something or something's not comfortable doesn't mean I shouldn't still do it, right? Because the thing about discipline with kids is you're also trying to instill to them that life is not easy. It's gonna make you have to do things you don't want to do. You can't just say, oh, I don't want to do it, so I'm not doing it. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and do the things you don't want to do. 9 out of 10 times, you got to do things you don't want to do. So if you don't want to listen to your mother, but you know you have to, that helps you understand that type of dynamic when it comes to real life. Because ultimately, once you become adult, you start realizing it. Like, as you get older, you're like, now I see why my mom did that because, I got to pay bills. I got to do it. Like, I don't even want to go, but I got to do it anyway. So I think it's about your goals and what you think you're trying to accomplish when you're trying to discipline your children.
Okay, I feel that. See, like me, I'm coming from an ignorant standpoint because I was a stepdaddy. I'm not a real daddy. So I mean, so I don't know. So the thing is, I have to listen to what you guys said because, I have to listen to what you guys say.
Hey, don't get me wrong now. Look, I got step kids. Like, if I gotta chin check your ass. but my thing is, I'll just
absolutely.
I tell my sons all the time, I love them all the time. I have no problem having a conversation once shit calms down. I have no once shit calmed down, everything that went down, whatever. Then let me tell you why this is wrong. Let me tell you why we had to go here. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we don't have to. I don't want to go there. It's easy to go there, very easy. But I don't want to. So let's get to a place where we won't even have to worry about that happening again. Let's talk about it. He might say, yo, you won't talk about when you whoop my ass. But I'm just saying, I do think you need to have a balance nowadays of both. Of a corporate punishment and a conversation too.
So Jasmine said something like very interesting because she said kids should be taught fear. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah. I do.
Absolutely. If you don't have fear, then
Yeah.
they're going to be the next kid shot by the cops, not even by the streets.
I mean,
To a certain extent.
You have to fear something. Like one thing about life is if you don't have like a higher power or you don't have something that you humble yourself to, you gonna be life is gonna serve you. It's gonna serve you up real nice. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't your ego gonna get you in some situation because you do have to understand fear is a part of life. That's why we have it. It's not like we just created fear. Fear is in us because if the fire hot, get away from it. You know what I mean? There's a reason why we have these instincts. Now, because of nurture versus nature, of course our fears get skewed, right? They get skewed into different things that we don't even need fear for. But you do have to figure out how to keep a healthy balance of fear and discipline within yourself. Because if you don't fear anything, then you don't have a sense of, your morality, your sense of morality is very thin. And then you're capable of doing anything. Like, unfortunately, there are people who are comfortable unaliving people, right? Mm-hmm. But there are some that like, yo, I'm too scared of jail to really do it. Thankfully, that exists because then we would probably have a lot more people out here doing a lot of things because now they don't fear the police. So there's a healthy balance into to trying to understand those type of things in life. This goes into your conversation about how you always bring up religion. This is why people pick religion when they deal with their morality or trying to figure out how to, because they need something to humble themselves to. They need something to instill a certain level of fear of like what I'm supposed to do, a certain level of authority to help them guide themselves. Because capitalism makes you understand that the structure is about your obedience. Like, unless you're on the other end of capitalism, like you're the 1%, in your mind, you think you have to be obedient. You think you have to follow the laws. You think you have to do what you're supposed to do, pay your taxes. These are the things that they train you for, right? So, pushing boundaries is okay, but it's like, what are we pushing boundaries on? Because again, like, there are people who are comfortable doing a lot of things that hurt other people. And then if they don't have no fear, what's stopping them?
So the way you explained it, I totally agree. I was thinking people usually beat their kids for the kids to fear the parents. So how do you feel about that?
I think truly, the problem with the dynamic of discipline today versus before, I think where the imbalance is coming in is beating was a community activity, right? So it's like, if I get a beating and I know most of the kids around me are all getting beatings for the same type of stuff I'm getting a beating for, then it's not that serious to me. I think what happens is when we grow up now that, the concept of community has changed. Everybody's doing something different in every house. Every kid is doing something different. There's no sense. So now if I go to school and you'll be like, my mom beat me, and 6 kids are like, well, my mom would never beat me. Now we got a whole different situation going on. Because now that kid's gonna come home like, Mom, Jacob, Alex, Ted, and Mary said they don't get beatings. And I'm like, now you got to be like, okay, well, we not their parents. This is not like, now you got to go through this whole speech. Like, when we were up, there was nobody that we had to ask about beatings because everybody knew they got them. Everybody had them. It was a community thing. It was nothing to be said. If you call your aunt, Mommy beat me, they like, well, what you do? That sound about right. You probably did something. You know what I mean? Because it was an understanding. So I think that's the tricky part about beating in this era is it's not a community activity no more because everybody's doing something a little different. And now you got to figure out how to make it stick, right? And give a certain understanding behind it without the support of understanding that, there's nobody else that might be doing what you're doing the way you're doing it. So it's a tricky thing, I think, today. Also, too, there are kids that beating don't work. I always tell people, everybody's like, beatings work on every kid. No, it's not. I know tons of kids that beating only made them more angry, more aggressive, and they really are defiant, sociopathic type of people. My aunt used to get the craziest beatings, but she still would take her behind out there and act the fool, sometimes not even come home for days at a time, to only come back to get another beating, to go back outside and do the same thing again. Some people Their impulse control is so high. There's nothing to stop them but death. Some people are just that way. It takes death to stop them because they're determined to do whatever there is they want to do. And honestly, they only come back for the beating, not because they respect the beating. They come back for the beating just to fuel their anger some more so they can hate you some more so they are more comfortable to do the stuff that hurts you.
Well, also, let me piggyback on that real quick. I have two sisters. I have know both my oldest, I have three sisters. Both my oldest sisters on my dad's side. They was very, one of my sisters said that whoopings, it was just, you knew that it only lasts for a certain amount of time. Okay, once I get a whooping, my punishment is over. I done got the whooping, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, like she said, whoopings don't work on everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the reason why I think I did spank my kids, my son. But the reason why, because I want you to understand there's a consequence for your action. A lot of these kids out here is living as if there's no consequences for their actions. Everybody's acting like this is a game of Grand Theft Auto out here. Once you get shot, you can restart again. That's what they act like. So you know that there's a consequence for the thing you do. So you should be more mindful of what you're doing.
I think whooping does work on everybody. The thing is that it doesn't have the mixture, the combination and the mixture of everything that we're talking about. It's either the whoopings, the beatings, and that's it. You go on to be the bad kid that you've been, and the parent goes on to be the bad parent that they've been or trying to change from. So yeah, I think it does work because again, that even if you don't get a beating from your parents, you get a beating from somebody else, you're listening. So, again, I don't think it just has the mixture of the combination of the things that we're talking about that follows after the beating and or prior to beating.
Yeah, I know every time I ever beat any of my kids, we sit down and have a conversation. Afterwards, I let them know I love them. We hug, you know what I mean? I let them know that, hey, it wasn't because daddy was trying to hurt you. Daddy's trying to teach you a lesson and get you to understand certain things. And also understand that the world ain't gonna hug you after they beat you. So you might want to listen to me the first time instead of having to go through things, you know what I mean, to find out things out the hard way.
All right, so here's a dumb question. I have to ask this now. Because we talk about consequences, whatever. If you get your ass whooped, you're gonna listen anyway. So do you guys agree with physical abuse when it comes to domestic violence and just man-on-man contact or woman-on-woman contact? If you're getting your ass whooped, you're going to listen, right? So do y'all agree with that?
I think the difference between discipline is that we're talking about children. Now, as adults have free will, right? They're now their own authority. You can't beat somebody's authority in or out of them. You just can't.
But you can beat the authority out of kids, though.
Children, right? Because they don't have their own autonomy.
People that's actually trying to learn.
Right, because they don't have their own autonomy. They can't go feed themselves. They can't protect themselves. There's things that they're relying on you for. So there's a balance in, okay, well, this is where this comes from. Listen, if you're feeding yourself, you the one who pay all your bills, ain't nobody can tell you nothing. Now, there are weak-minded people who get in toxic relationships and they allow that person to put that level of authority on them, okay, for whatever their mental illness or reason is. But again, that doesn't teach anything. It's not teaching anything besides let's just keep hitting. It's not. Most men or women that are in DV situations, they're not trying to teach their partner something. They're trying to assert dominance. That's a different thing. They're trying to say, I'm the one that's going to tell you what to do because I can do that. Because unfortunately, if you just tell an adult that you're the one in authority, they're going to be like, no, you're not, I am. So you have no other choice but to hit them in order to try to get them to understand that, because idealistically, there's no way to convince somebody that they're not their own person. Right.
And another adult doesn't belong to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, your child, that's your child. You know what I mean? Like, regardless as to whatever happens, you got to deal with whatever decisions they choose to make, whether or not they learn a lesson or not. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of them just going out here acting a fool and not learning lessons. Another adult, even if you might run across some adults that haven't learned lessons that in your mind you feel as though they should have learned, that's not your place to discipline them. They're their own adult. They don't belong to you. None of that. So if you're dealing with somebody and they on some other stuff, I mean, you just leave them alone. You know what I mean? But I don't think no adult has the right to put their hands on any other adult unless they put their hands on you.
I tell you this. I personally don't think we should put our hands on anything, on anybody, unless it's a survival tactic. If somebody try to rob me, I'm whooping their ass. If somebody try to attack me, I'm whooping their ass. So children or whatever, the reason why I would say we shouldn't do that to children, because they're still getting used to their bodies. They're still getting used to like exploring the world and all that. Of course, if you pretty much, if a child tried to touch the stove and all that, of course, smack his hand and everything. Mm-hmm. But if a child have a bad grade, because most of the time when children do get into like beatings and situations like that, it's because they're being bad in school, or they're not listening to another teacher and all that. Mm-hmm. And I personally don't think that's the case with it. But I think it should be a life or death situation where they put there, like where you have to put your hands on them, saying stop doing that, basically. But when you're telling them you should listen to this person, you should listen to that person, you're beating them because of it, you're installing fear amongst other people and all that. And they're gonna have to take that anxiety out somewhere else, basically. This is why there's like a lot of kids that have been beat at home, fear their mother, but they have to take it out to the world. Now they're fighting the world, basically.
Yeah.
You should have a healthy fear of your parents. I think you have a healthy fear of your parents. You know, not like it's a line that we know not to cross your parents. My dad is 77 years old. I still know not to try this next. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a healthy fear I have of my dad. My son's sitting right here. It's a line we ain't gonna cross.
Yep.
I think the problem with where you're kind of coming from is, yes, I get it that the kids they're learning, but you got to realize like the level of impulse, the lack of the level of impulse control that kids have will hurt them. It is a life or death situation because you don't understand that it's not going to just be the stove. You got to understand that they leave your presence many times throughout your week and your day. They're in other people's presence. And so if you don't put that kind of fear in them as just in general, right? Whatever way you can, when they leave your presence, that's when things go the worst wrong if they don't have that. Because everybody has different motives around your child. So you can't always be there to shield them from those people. So if they don't have a certain line of respect and discipline already that you're setting for them, it is their life, because they can run into the wrong adult and they don't know how to deal with that situation, and anything can happen to them. You know what I mean? So it's for kids, this is a life or death in a way, because these lessons are life or death lessons to me anyway.
I feel that. So I'm gonna have to give it up to Andy because like his two kids resemble exactly what my sister and he is, who they are basically. Their character is amazing. Like they're like, I don't know what they do at home, but if you talk to them, they're very smart, they're very charismatic and all that. And it came from them because Andy's very smart and charismatic, and so is my sister and all that. So what is more important though? Like teaching them the characteristics of life or teaching them how to fear life?
A balance.
But what's more beneficial? I'm saying what's more beneficial though? Because like I know people that have horrible attitudes, whatever, that didn't get beat and all that, and they grew up to have that same horrible attitude as their parents because their character was messed up.
Right.
So what's the benefits of having kids or whatever, like being the kid or whatever, if your character is so like is the main reason why the kid is acting the way they are.
But see, that's where it goes back to what are your goals. Most people who have bad character, they don't have the right goals anyway. So when they're beating their kids, they have the wrong intent. So this is why the results show that, right? Because their intent's probably already off if they got a bad character, right? So how they beat and when they beat and what they beat for is going to be off too. Right? Because their character is off already. They're already in a not so healthy mind state as a person. And I suffered that. My mother, mental health was horrible. But nobody talked about this kind of stuff when I was younger. Mental health wasn't a conversation. And she was horribly beating me. I mean, horribly. And I was telling my family. But they were like, no, you get beaten. That happens. And I'm like, you're not understanding the type of stuff she's beating me for. I can understand a beating. But me getting beaten is crazy. I was a straight A student. I ain't never got in trouble. I ain't nothing. She would just beat me because I ain't make my bed. I'm like, ah, damn, it's just a bed. Like, whoa, sis, but again, like, because her mental health was skewed, her how she viewed it was, I didn't make my bed intentionally because I didn't respect how she wanted me to act in her house. That's how she took it. When really it was just I was a kid and I be getting up and I don't think about the importance of making my bed because I have other things I'm thinking about, and that's just that, right? But like I said, that's why once I got older, she as I was getting older and the more I kept gaining my own independence, she couldn't understand how I just didn't respect her no more. Because in her mind, she instilled that belt wasn't supposed to be instilling respect into me. So, but that wasn't happening. Every time she hit me, I was losing respect for her.
Yeah.
So that's
you gotta also have that. You gotta show that kind of love too. It should be a balance of love too. You gotta understand, like I've gotten beaten, bad beaten. You know what I'm saying? But the thing was, I think the worst thing ever happened. My dad didn't beat me. My grandmother beat me. Real though. But by the time my dad, his beatings didn't even work. It didn't even matter. But his work, he had a way of saying shit to me that would break my heart. And I felt like he didn't even love me. You know what I'm saying? And even though my grandma beat me, the will back. I never felt like I wasn't loved. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when my dad would say things to me, I'm like, damn, this nigga really must ain't love me. And it would hurt me way worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jasmine, was your mom a single mom?
right.
And the reason why I asked that is because same here. So a lot of similarities I'm seeing with that, right? And I think a lot of times with single moms, it's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of stuff that's overwhelming, and you're getting beat out of emotion more than, the sense of punishment or whatever it should be, or even love for that matter. And that's not to say, and I will say the same thing too, it's like love is definitely there, but the emotional aspect of it is just overwhelming it, So I know what you're talking about. I remember the last beating I got. I can't say the last beating because I ran, and I told myself I'm never getting a beating again. I'm never letting nobody put their hands on me ever again. And that was the end of that. And I live by that from that point on. But so I know what you mean.
I remember. No, you know what I remember? I remember that one beating where it didn't hurt no more. I'll never forget that day when she finally hit me, and I was like, I really didn't even hurt that bad. But now I'm getting older. That day I found out, so I was excited because she beating me, and I was numb. So I'm realizing I'm numb. I'm not crying, so she's still beating me. So I had to fake cry. I had to do the whole. But at that point, I was like, now I knew I won at that point. Now the war is over. Because you can't beat me no more. So I don't care. That's not moving me no more. And I don't think she knew. Like, she didn't see it. She not. I don't think this is the day she realized that there was a day where that shit just didn't work no more. But it's crazy. Like I said, I think mental health of the parent affects everything you do with that child. Everything. Yeah. So beatings is like the aunt I was telling you guys about earlier. My aunt who used to get literally constant beatings and still go outside. Don't you know it took her till she was 50 years old? Now, mind you, just like she used to fight my grandmother, she used to fight everybody outside. Everybody know her to fight and to win fights because she was really good at it, right? So she always. Go ahead.
Good question. Okay, I think I know your aunt, but never mind. I got you.
I was about to tell you. Yeah. So one day, now mind you, all these years, even in her 40s, 30s, she's still hanging outside fighting people. So everybody like, what the hell? You get too old to be fighting. It took till one day when she was about 50. I think my aunt was about 50 or late 40s. She got into a fight with this girl. And this girl knew her reputation clearly because everybody did. And she was determined not to lose this fight with my aunt. So she bust my aunt in the head with a bat so hard she split my aunt head open. She had to get staples. Let me tell you, my aunt hasn't had a fight since. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, that's the thing. Like, some people, it takes till death to stop them. Really. Like, it took somebody to boing her for her to see white. You know what I'm saying? Before she was like, you know what? I shouldn't be fighting people no more. It took that.
She got that beating.
Wow. Well, how many people only got beat once and just learned their lesson?
Well, mine was for that thing. I got beat once for a certain thing and learned my lesson about that thing. But other things, you know what I mean? I probably had to get beaten for that. Right. I remember my mom told me to be home at a certain time, and I was at my cousin's house, and then my cousin told me I could stay longer, and I stayed longer because he said I could stay longer. And when I got home, man, my mom told my behind up, so I never defied her. She told me something what she said overruled what anybody else said. But I mean, there was other things that she might not have told me that I did wrong, and I had to get a beating for that.
I think for me, I learned the first time because I never blatantly disregarded what my mother said. Like I said, I didn't get beatings for bad habits. I didn't have any. I was a perfect student. I was Miss Goody Two Shoes. I used to get beat for like not making my bed, not washing the dishes exactly when she said to do it, or doing it or exactly how she wanted me to do it. I got beat for like things that I don't even think beatings like help or assist in doing anything for, because I never skipped the class. I never had bad grades. I was a straight A student since kindergarten. You know what I mean? I never really did anything bad. Like, I used to just get beat for like not acting the way she wanted me to act at whatever time she wanted me to act like. That's what I used to get beat for. So I was like, I never had a problem following rules. That was my issue. My issue with her is like, she just, like you said, she was emotional. She was a single parent, and it was just like, if it's like I had to be a robot in order for her to feel comfortable around. That's how it felt to me. Like, it felt like it was like I just, like, whatever she had going on inside of her, her way was to control everything around her because she couldn't control what was going on in here. You know what I mean? So, and my mom was OCD. You know, them old school, everything got to be super clean, super neat. So I'm a kid. I'm not super neat. I'm not super clean. So that I got beaten just for simple stuff like that. Oh, you cleaned this room? Yeah, I cleaned up my room. I'm in my room. And you sure better be clean, because if not, you're getting a beating. Shit like that. So she come in my room. She look under my bed, and shoes under my bed, clothes under my bed. Oh, you didn't clean it up. Now I got a beating, all because there's shoes and clothes under my bed, because I'm supposed to do it the way she showed me how to do it. I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I don't know about being defiant. I was never intentionally defiant, but I got beatings, and I still don't understand why to this day. Like, I still don't get it.
Well, I'll tell you this, because I know Andy and you definitely know my cousin. But I remember he used to get beat because of random stuff. I remember me and all my cousins would just play fighting. I don't even want to say no names, but you know my cousin. Mm-hmm. He used to get beat all the time. Like, and I remember my cousin, I'm not going to say no names, drop kicked her son just because she didn't want him to play with us. And he used to get beat he used to get legit beat all the time, whatever, to a point where he got immune to it. You know what happened to him when he got immune to it? He became a criminal.
Right.
No disrespect to him because he might shoot me. He became a criminal. He became like I said, y'all already know who I'm talking about. Y'all should know who I'm talking about. So like it comes to a point where like beating people actually have a limit. Because the moment you keep getting beat or whatever and you start getting immune to that beating, now you're gonna feel invincible to a point where now nothing is gonna stop you. To a point where you're gonna have to go outside and get hit with a baseball bat because now regular hits is not gonna damage you anymore. So wasn't that more detrimental when it comes to getting beat at home? If you're still gonna get beat worse when you're out in the street, basically.
Let me just say this real quick. I was a kid who grew up getting beat. I mean, like I was raised by my mom died when I was a kid, so I was raised by my grandmother, who's an older woman. So we in the South, we in North Carolina, so that's what we do. I got beat with like actual chains, metal chains. I got hit with a hammer, I got hit with a frying pan, but I've got hit. Like that ass. I mean, and over the smallest shit, the smallest things I've never had. But in my mind, it didn't make me want to be out here like, man, fuck, I'm just still wild fuck up. It didn't make me do that. Because at the end of the day, I guess it made me learn, like, look, shit, consequences out here. I done touched that damn stove a couple times now. I done let my ass burn a few times now. But at the same time, the difference was my anger level. When I get angry, it was I was determined. Like, because now I will harbor on the anger I have to a certain point that when I finally release it, it's huge. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a lot of time, like going through that for me to realize, okay, it's certain things in my habits with my kids I don't want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I did the best I can. Don't get me wrong, they might think I fucked a lot, yes. But I definitely did not go to the limit that I went.
Yeah. Hey, and I think too, man, a lot of it is on the individual basis. I think most things is on the individual basis anyway. But especially with this subject right here, because going back to the story I was just telling about me staying at my cousin's house longer. Now, my mom probably took it as me being defiant, right? She probably looked at it as like, I told you one thing, you did something else, you put somebody's word over mine. That's how she saw it, because her mind was already made up to give me a beating before we ever even had a conversation of it. The reality of the situation is, in my mind, I assumed she didn't want me to stay there longer because I'll be overstaying my welcome. But once it was expressed to me that, no, you're more than welcome to stay, I took it as, okay, cool. So I didn't understand the reason why she told me to be home. And if we had a conversation about that, and then I would have told her, like, Ma, I wasn't trying to defy you. You know what I mean? I just figured this is the reason why you told me that. And when that reason was no longer the case, I thought I was in the clear. And, but you know what I mean? A conversation would have handled that, but that's not how we chose to go about it. So, but yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like every time you defy somebody doesn't mean that you're trying to be defiant. You could be just defying what you assume they might have meant, you know what I mean? From telling you what it is that they wanted to tell you.
I feel that.
I think that the trickiest part for brown children is, as for the parent and for the child, is we have to learn we have to learn emotional intelligence way too late in life, because a lot of it wasn't taught. We wasn't in households where that was understood or taught. So, even when we got beatings, our parents be like, yeah, I don't want to beat you. We still didn't have like that important talk of, well, I know when I beat you, you got this level of frustrated. That emotion is still in you. Do you know where to put it now? Like, we didn't have that. So yeah, they talked to us, but it still wasn't enough to help us understand. That's why our first instinct when somebody talk crazy is punch them in the face. You see people all the time. You can't say that to me, because nobody was having this emotional regulation conversation. Like with my daughter, I don't do it every single time, but the times where she's getting like a little crazy, I'll be like, hold up, pause. Before I even go there, I gotta pause, and I'll be like, you gotta understand, yeah, you can be angry, but there's a way to do it now. Like let's practice ways on how to be angry with respect. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. it's emotional regulation and intelligence and maturity is what a lot of Black households lack. And that's because, this is our history. Unfortunately, thanks to slavery, when slave children, had to be obedient no matter how young they were, right? So nobody cared about the fact that they were 5 and they don't have impulse control. Slave owners didn't care about that. So unfortunately, those parents would have to force these kids to understand and tolerate the slavery that was installed upon them. So that just created a cycle of just do what master say now. You know what I mean? And it's a cycle that we have that it's hard to break. It's like you said, it's a balance of really having conversations with your children, trying to figure out how they see you, and what kind of relationship are you trying to nurture with your children. And unfortunately, like without the skills on knowing how to do it, we got to figure that out so that these kids don't be out here. Unfortunately, that's why these YNs are YNs. Nobody's there to have these emotional regulation conversations. Like, I don't know if you heard about the recent story. A young lady put her hands on a young boy. He got upset and he decided to turn around and stab her.
Hey.
So everybody's in the comments like, you can't be mad at him. That girl shouldn't be hitting boys. That's the problem with girls now. You're comfortable hitting men. But to me, I saw a deeper issue. I saw 2 layers of issue. Right. Too many young women are not taught to keep their hands to themselves. One. And the other issue is, how do you regulate your emotions? Yes, she hit you, but for your comeback to be stabbing is there's something going on there, because your emotional regulation is off. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure, like in our generation, even though we were taught not to hit boys, even when you hit boys, it never escalated, because boys were taught that girls were weak. So if a girl hit a boy, he's like, "You're just a girl. Get out of my face!" Like, they brushed it off. Like, you ain't really hurt me. Get out of here. You're just a little girl. These kids are not like that anymore. They don't care if you a monkey. You touch me, you gotta go. And that's because they lack emotional regulation. Their thing is, anytime something happens to them, that's a defiance of what they consider respect. And their respect means more to them than anything else. So they have to make a scene.
So I'll tell you.
Those honey,
I have to mute you for a second, brother. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
You good.
It's okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, Eric G, like, y'all are saying some dope stuff, though. I still disagree that, like, children should get hit. But, yeah. But what y'all are saying, same with Eric G. Huh?
That's it. I'm good to go now.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So, like, with Eric G, like, he said the moment he get, like, angry, he like turn irate, whatever, he get violent and all that. Don't you think beatings actually initiated that? Because I know, like, so I had a counseling session with this lady because I do life coaching and all that. But I'm gonna keep it confidential. But she said she was born in the trap house, so she used to get violated sexually and all that. To a point where when she grew up, she thought sex was the right thing to do.
Right.
So like she started trying to talk and violate these other kids and all that.
Right.
So even as adults, like your aunt, myself, whatever, I got into a lot of fights. You know why? Because I've been introduced to violence at home. So don't you think that would be detrimental if you don't want violence to be out like in the open, basically? Do you think we need to stop the violence that's going on in the house, whatever, because that's where it's being introduced to?
Man, well, I know personally, I kind of have mixed feelings about that one, right? Because I agree, like, if we lived in a perfect world where if it was a situation as to where if you came to school or when you was going about your day and no violence was brought to you, that's not something that you have to deal with. But unfortunately, there comes a time where you may actually be a victim. And sometimes, and I hate to say it this way, but the way to stop violence is to be more violent than the person that's trying to be violent to you. So, you know what I mean? It's almost like, as much as you wish it didn't exist, you have to have some type of edge about you to be able to defend yourself and to be able to teach people not to mess with you and, to overcome the violence that's trying to be bestowed upon you. So it's kind of like a slippery slope on that, in my opinion.
Right.
So what Jasmine said, like with the YN stabbing that lady, maybe because YNs today can't fight. I'm gonna be honest. They're like they're scrawny or whatever.
Right.
They're like wild, weak motherfuckers. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that lady can beat that YN to a point where he's like, you know what? I have to stab this person, whatever. Do you think that was the cause of them being scared at home, whatever, and they had to defend themselves somehow? In some type of way?
I think the problem is a lot of these YNs aren't getting beaten. A lot of these moms, we were beat. A lot of these YNs aren't really getting beat. See, when we were growing up, boy or girl, depending on certain families, you were roughed up. Especially when you got around your cousins, your uncles. Somebody was just gonna slap you for no reason, just to see what you're gonna do. And if you don't react, they're gonna try to get you to react because they're gonna try to show you have to defend yourself. That's not being done no more. A lot of these YNs, they don't got nobody testing them. They run their mother, and then they think they run the world because they tell their mama shut the hell up, and they slam her door, and they break her cell phone, and they stomp the TV, and she like, I don't know what to do with him because his father not there, so she calling the police on him. She ain't doing it. She calling the police on the boy. So the boy like, oh, she's scared of me because she can't do nothing because she calling the police. So now he getting numb to the police. He been numb to the mama. So they outside with it.
I think YNs are getting beat worse now. I personally think that. I think they're getting beat. I think they're getting beat a lot worse or whatever because now we have younger parents or whatever that want to go out, that want to have fun or whatever. So now they look at their children as friends basically. So if their friends but they are also mothers at the same time, whatever. So the moment they do violate that friendship or that mothership and all that, they will be violated in the worst way. At least back in the day, like even though our mothers used to whoop our ass, they did have some sort of respect for us. These days today, they don't have no respect for their children anymore. Yeah. To a point where like if they do get angry, they're gonna whoop their ass a lot worse.
But honestly, a lot of these moms aren't home. So ain't no beatings because a lot of them ain't home. You know how many, so many women are leaving 1 and 2 and 3 year olds with 7 and 8 and 9 year olds because they got to go to work. They don't got no child care. They can't afford child care or whatever. Or like you said, they just want to go to club. I mean, I watched a video. The girl, she had like a 1 and a, girl had to been like 1.5. She was in the car seat in the back of the car. She parked across the street from the club that she was in with the baby left in the back seat. Somebody was by the car smoking, looked in the car, realized it was a baby in there. They looking around like, where the mother at? They finna call the police. Then the mother eventually comes out because some girl like, oh, I know who this is. They go tell her. She come outside cursing everybody out, telling them to mind their business. That's why I was like, these kids not really getting beat because they mama ain't home. Nobody's beating these kids. Ain't nobody there to beat them. They mamas ain't home. Like,
let me bring up my cousin again because my cousin wasn't home. But when she got home, because she been through a certain relationship or whatever, and she get upset and take it out on the kids because she can't take it out on that man that's bigger than them. They will get mad over the random stuff. That's why my other cousin, shout out to him, got drop kicked because he was just fighting with us. Because they're mad because like a lot of these parents are mad at the world or whatever, so they have to take it out on their kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the kids are at like home by themselves or whatever.
Right.
It depends on how the mother comes home. The mother might come home just upset. It's like that lady that was at the strip club or whatever. She was also abusive to that kid that was in the car.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you know, it's unfortunate.
Go ahead.
Like any working sperm can get together with a working egg, man, and produce a child. And that doesn't mean that everybody's fit, you know what I mean, to be parents. You know what I mean? It's just, but if your organs work, hey, here's a child in the whole situation. And there's a lot of lessons as parents you haven't learned yet. You may not be responsible enough yet. You may not be ready for this child, you know, and just people are just having babies, you know, and it's crazy because I agree with what you were saying as far as the respect aspect of it. Yeah, I've seen, you know what I'm saying, parents having conversations in the front of their kids like as if the kid ain't even there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm 41 years old. I'm not cursing in front of my mom. It just ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not doing it because, you know what I'm saying, that level of respect was just established at a certain age. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing it. And also too, now I don't agree with all the beatings that I got. But at the same time, and I didn't get that many. I'm not going to make it seem like I got a lot, but the ones that I did get, I wish I hadn't gotten them. But either way you put it, I knew, you know what I'm saying, whether it was from them beatings or her, the way that she just, you know, instilled certain things into me, when I leave out of this house, I better not embarrass her. You know what I mean? And there's and not only me respecting her, but the respect carried itself no matter where I went. You know what I mean? Like whether I walk into any establishment, no matter who I meet, you know what I mean? I better be respectful. Like I said, man, me and my mom don't even live in the same state, but I'm not trying to hear her hear nothing bad about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not trying to embarrass her. You know what I mean? But when you have that relationship, you know what I mean? That works, man. But these kids now, what is embarrassment? If the kid and their mom are having conversations like as if the kid is not even a kid, if the kid is being exposed to things that is not like, there's no such thing as a child's place anymore. A child's place is just wherever they at. You know what I mean? And whatever's going to go on is going to continue to go on, whether that child is present or not. You know, where's that correlation of, okay, respect going to come from?
Yeah. It's a mess out here. I'm just saying, it's just a mess out here for these kids. I feel for these kids. As much as I want to be angry with these YNs, like you said, it's obvious what's going on at home by the way they act outside. I feel for a lot of these young black men out here who've been forced into these, emotionally unstable places, and all they see is red. Because I've met people like that. Like I've seen it. Like they just the misery that was passed down, that's instilled in their spirit is just unmatched. It's crazy. I mean, like it's to the point where young ladies they don't know, they're scared because if a dude say what's up, and you be like, no, thank you. You don't know what's coming after that, because some of these young men are so angry with life that if a chick just be like, I'm not interested, that's a trigger. That level of rejection and embarrassment is a trigger, and they violate in ways that, what craziness, okay? Even there are women doing it. A lot of these young girls, I've seen videos of these young girls where like, if they try to seduce a man and he's not seduced, they get upset and belligerent because he said no. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with him? Then they calling him gay. Oh, he gotta be gay. Something wrong with him. Like they just losing their mind all because a man said, yo, you're not my type, sis. Like these kids is, I don't know. I feel for these kids. I feel for them because on the surface it's like, yeah, they're fucked. But if you dig deeper, there's more to these stories, and there are some stories underneath these people's these kind of mentalities. Unfortunately, these stories will never get told because most of them will end up dead or in jail before they can reach 30.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go soon though. Shout out to you guys, but I got one more question for like everybody can answer this, but this is directed at Jasmine. You know what I mean?
Right.
But because you say you feel for these YNs because you know where they came from, what about your aunt? She's an adult now, but you know where she came from.
Oh, I always felt for her. I understood it. I already knew she was doing what she was doing. I understood. But even if you see her do the situation, like even with my cousin, even with my cousin, basically, shall I feel for what my cousin been through? This is why she took it out on my other cousin. Or should I just say, like, you know what, you're an adult now, whatever, you should... Listen, I feel for them, but also there's a point in your life where you make your own decisions. And you got it. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we're held accountable for those decisions. So the thing about it is, just like you could decide to eat a cheeseburger today, you could decide not to be the person that you don't want to be today. You just got to figure out how to get there. And to me, it's different if you're saying, like, listen, I don't know how to get there, and trying to ask for help versus just saying like life sucks and it doesn't matter. But like I say, I mean, but either way, you got to deal with no matter what, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it because you're gonna do things that are gonna cause consequences. So it's not necessarily about like whether I care about these people or not. It's just a matter of like, nobody wants to see nobody die, right? Like that's just not what we always want to do. So it just sucks to see that, like even like, listen, I don't like child molestation, anything like that. I personally have a huge like adverse reaction to it. But at the same time, I know that a lot of molesters have been molested. So it's just like, it's sick, it's twisted, it's levels to this stuff. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot to digest. You know what I mean? You know, like, ideally, you know, we hope that people can get along. We hope that people don't want to hurt people, but hurt people hurt. That's the cycle of life, you know?
Okay, I feel that.
And I want to add into this too. I know you had directed the question to Jasmine, but it's funny because okay, yeah. So I had a conversation with my mom earlier today, right? And this is one of the weirdest things. And she's trying to tell me that she is genetically, like, you know, I guess proportion to certain things, but I'm her son. so I'm sitting there thinking, like, how are you going to say, like, genetically, you know what I mean, like, you have this going on, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? and I'm your son. So I mean, the point of that is, you know what I mean, it's like Jasmine was saying, man, at a certain point you just have to understand, you know what, I'm making these decisions. And I can't blame it on it. You know, you can blame it on things if you want to make yourself feel better about it. But the reality of the situation is that you have to sit yourself down in a corner somewhere and isolate yourself, and, you know what I mean, dig deep within yourself and understand who you are, what you got going on, and sometimes even talk to yourself and tell yourself, you know what, I am in control of myself. You know what I mean? I'm choosing to make these decisions, and whatever triggers or things around you or circumstances or whatever the case may be that's causing you to go into that realm that you necessarily don't want to go to, you got to understand that it's up to you to remove those things. You know what I mean? But it definitely is about being accountable.
Like you know, I got stabbed when I was a kid. Every time I tell people that, I always tell people that because I let them know, like, to me, I don't tell them that because I want sympathy. I tell them that's because I have a strong adversity to violence, because I nearly died, right? So I always tell people, listen, I don't play fight. I don't kind of fight. Once hands are exchanged, I'm trying to kill you. That's just where I'm at with it. So understand that once you touch me, it's not gonna be it's none of that. It's turn up, and I'm going all the way up with it. So, but people ask me, like, you know, he's out of prison, he's free. Everybody's like, you're not mad? You don't want to go get him? I said, no. They're like, how you not mad? Because here's the thing, I tell people all the time, people are not doing stuff to you because of you. They're doing stuff to you because of themselves. Even though this man tried to take me out of here, I know I had nothing to do with that. I was just there. I was collateral damage. I was just there. It was gonna happen to whoever was just there. I'm not special. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times that victimized mindset makes you think you're not special. You were just there. And when I look at it like that all the time, and people are like, never, because if I knew where he was at, that's silly, bro. I'm not doing that. He did what he did. I'm still here to talk about it. It is what it was, but it had nothing to do with me. I don't care what you say to a person. Nobody's doing stuff to you because of you. And I tell people that all the time. Just like when people call me like, oh my God, yo, you made me this and you made me that. You know what I say to people when they tell me I make them do something? I go, listen, thanks for the power. I'm so glad you gave me the power to control you, but can you take it back? Because I don't want it no more. That's what I say to people. And they just freeze. They're like, what? Because they don't know how to react. Because I'm like, listen, I don't want that power you just gave me. You just gave me way too much power over your life. I don't want it. I barely got that control over my life. I don't want it. I don't want it for you. And it makes people think, like, you have to get to a place, unfortunately. But like I said, darkness for some people is just a little too dark, right? They never get out of that place. But that's why I always try to tell people, like, whatever you do to a person is your personal choice. It don't matter what that person did to you. That's your choice. Because just like if somebody violate me, I can violate back. I can also just ignore it. It's my choice to figure out how to move forward. Because I never forget, I had this girl, she was like, aggressive towards me. and I was paying her no mind. So she was like, "Yo, you don't see me like, you know what I'm saying?" I'm like, "Nah." She was like, "I bet if I hit you, you'll see me." And I looked at her. I said, "Even if you hit me, that don't mean I'm gonna hit you back." She like, "Well, I know how you get down. You gonna hit me back." I said, "Honestly, no. If I don't feel like fighting you today, I won't. You don't. You're not gonna control me." Is what I'm trying to get through to her. It don't like everybody ain't gonna make me move. Everybody gonna make me shake. I'm not angry because you angry. You know what time people call me cursing me out? I listen. People be just like, "How you gonna let them talk to you like that?" They saying this is on them. This is not on me. I'm not joining you. I'm not joining. You can call me mad as a dog. I don't have to join you. I could just listen and let you be mad. You know, so it's just as we get older, hopefully you're maturing and you're understanding your emotions much better by having, like you said, conversations with yourself or a therapist, because I got a therapist, love it. Well, I think I'll be doing this the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Because yes, I'm intelligent. Yes, I've broken a lot of curses and I've evolved, but I still need help. You know what I mean? Because the little you is always still there. That little person that was hurt, that little person that was beat, that little person that, you know what I mean, that was ignored, it's always gonna be there. And it comes out in the strangest ways sometimes. So you still always gonna need some support.
Yo, I'll tell you this. Well, I'm gonna get to you, Donnie, in 2 seconds, but I have to tell you this. I have to go real soon because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I gotta get out. Gotta go get my daughter too.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. Y'all made beating children sound so good. So I'll tell you this. Whenever, like when I have my child, I'm gonna introduce them to a beating. Like
Listen, I said I was never gonna beat my child. It takes you to go through it. I'm telling you, until you get there. Listen, I said the same thing. You know, I just had my daughter in 5. I just got here. I was like, I'm not being her. I'm gonna talk to her. Child, them days, it's gonna be that one good day when you like, hope.
No, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I was so against beating children, but y'all convinced me to beat kids. Y'all legit said, you know what? Maybe it is okay to beat a kid. So I'll make sure, like when I do have my child, I'm gonna say this is for the culture. That's all I'm gonna do. So I rock with it. But Donnie, I apologize, Donnie. I know you have like connection issues, but this is gonna be like the last words and all that. So, what you gotta say, brother, before it start raining and then mess everything up? Mind you, but before you go, Donnie, he's one of the funniest people. Donnie's one of the funniest people. If you like, I want him on my panel too and all that. But he always disagree with you. I'm just letting you guys know that. I'll rock with him. He's one of my favorite podcasts, man. Like, follow his Whatever Talks. Whatever Talks is one of the dopest podcasts too. So just letting you know that. Go ahead, Don, and disagree with us. Go ahead, hurry up.
Appreciate it, but yeah, I didn't really hear too much of anything, so I ain't really got too much to say. My I was going in and out. When I was here, y'all was like robots. So yeah.
All right, brother.
Wait. I will say, beat them kids. Beat them. They'll become better people.
Yo, shout out to Donnie. Shout out Whatever Talks. I'm gonna put that on your. I'm gonna put that on the podcast thing or whatever. I'm gonna put that on the whatchamacallit. You know what I'm saying. But if y'all got anything, any shout outs, anything y'all want to sell, any podcasts, any motivational speaking quotes, whatever y'all got, just let me know so I can go eat something real quick.
All I can say is try to understand how to love yourself. That's just pretty much what all it is. Everything in life is how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is how you treat everything around you. So start with self. That's all I would say.
Start with self.
And I second that.
Okay. All right, good stuff. I appreciate you guys, man. I learned a lot from y'all. A whole lot.
Likewise.
When in doubt,
thanks for inviting me on. Peace out.
All right. Okay, good show, guys. Good show. So I'm gonna have the same one tomorrow, and I might come back on after this, after I finish eating, whatever. But that was a good show, man. I like those guys. That's about it.